I'm saying the account itself closed.
That's not what you did this morning.
In Illinois, on July 17th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a Regions Bank branch after a report that a woman was attempting to cash a check drawn on an account that had been closed for fraudulent activity. The woman, identified as Amanda, told officers the check had arrived in the mail, and officers, a text arrived to say lawsuit, which she believed it was a settlement from a traffic accident lawsuit she had filed in 2021 against a trucking company. Treasury officer approaches calmly and greets her. His first concern is her identification, which is expired and from another state. He reassures her, stating plainly that he believes the ID itself is genuine. The woman says she signed for it at the center at the post office, named the company as Waller and Waller, and pointed to a contact she called Diana that morning. Once is -1, the deceptive-practices statute. It makes it a crime to deliver or cash a check when the person knows that the check will not be paid by the bank. The decisive words are intent to defraud and knowledge. A person who innocently presents a check they believe is valid lacks the criminal mental state, and that distinction becomes the central question of this encounter.
Hey.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I'll show you the ID. I have a debit card as well.
Are you Amanda?
I
Okay. Yeah, just some concerns about your driver's license.
know his old spread and it's due it this month. And I'm getting an Illinois license this week. I've been here in Illinois, I've been in Illinois long enough, so yeah, I have to get my Illinois license. I did the defraud, and I had to clear that with the state secretary's office.
She told me we didn't have a help.
She what?
Everybody gives me help out, but I have other banks have.
Yeah, it just feels it's
It's been through the.
it's just old.
It's been through a ringer. It's 4 years old. It's due at the end of this month, and I'm getting my Illinois license. So.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I believe you now.
Yeah, I know. I told you.
She told me we didn't have a help.
That has been happening.
It was hard for me to cash my income tax check.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was hard. There's just no. I'm sorry,
Okay. All right.
but I have it on my phone. If you want to look at my phone, it's.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, I'm not fraud.
Yeah, it just
I understand completely.
it feels like it's been through the ringer.
It's been more than a ringer.
160.
Right. I do. Yeah. When I do, I'll come.
Well, I like when I'm talking.
Come pay on the zip. I like when I'll get free.
Really? You have this happen quite a bit?
Yes,
Where'd the check come from?
the check came certified mail to my house.
Good.
And I had to sign it. And then I called their bank this morning. I called up there to that place up there, and she said it was approved and everything was good.
Okay.
And so I just stopped here and
Okay. So the check came by certified mail. Who from?
Actually the post, I guess you wouldn't call it certified mail, but I did have to sign for it. It was the post office, U.S. Post Office. And I did have to sign for it.
You don't know who the check's from, though?
Well, okay, I had a car accident. A trucking service hit me. And that was in 2021.
Okay.
Okay, I did sue them. I sued Warner Trucking Service and I sued another trucking service. But I never expected to get, I didn't pursue them all the way because the Warner Trucking, service, whatever, guy had actually rear-ended me. And he nicked me and shoved me off the road on the ice. Okay, and so I assumed that came from that. I didn't really know.
Okay. So
I was expecting a check.
So that was 2021.
Right, but I was mind you, a lot
The accident happened. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
and this is the first time. This is the first time you've received one of these checks.
It did say cash that check at Regions Bank. That's the only thing it said inside.
Yes, so it is. And I can call that person back at the bank too, and the lady that owns the trucking service.
Okay.
Hi guys. We got nice looking officers.
That's kind of part of the criteria of getting hired here.
So no, I'm being looked at as I've done something wrong. Right?
Well,
Where's the check?
we run into stuff like this all the time.
The check is it not valid?
The biggest thing is just this ID here. That's all.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I mean, the other thing is the account for this company. It says it's closed because of fraudulent activity.
Okay, well, I just spoke to the woman this morning, so I can call her back if you'd like me to. And I spoke
What was
to
her
the lady
name?
from the truck. Diana is her name,
Diana.
and she owns that.
Is there anything illegal in your person? Mind if I take a look in there? Is that okay?
No.
Do you mind if I take a look in there?
Well, yeah, I do because it's my personal business. But
Okay.
no, there's nothing illegal in here. Anyway,
What would it be?
but yeah,
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is.
I'm just asking. I ask everybody because I don't know you. I just want to make sure there's no guns or bombs or anything.
oh my God.
No, Mom.
And I'm saying bombs. Just trying to. I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to alleviate the tension here. That's all.
Okay, so here's the
we
front of mine.
Okay. No, I believe the ID is real. I mean, can you lift your hat for me a little bit? Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely you. It's just the issue is this check. You got into this accident like 2 years ago. I get like lawsuits take a while.
Okay, I
How
called her
did-
this morning, and she said everything was fine.
Who did you call?
I called Diana, the lady that owns the trucking service,
What's the name of the trucking service?
the Waller and Waller LLC, and I called their bank up there in that town.
Waller and Waller.
Yeah,
'Cause that's not the name of this company.
that's what they called it, Waller and Waller. That's how she pronounced it to me. Her name's Diana. I can go out to the truck and I can get you the phone number too.
Oh, let me see you can get gas, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I can
They got a
get
truck
all
on
of
the lot.
this cleared.
You can get it all cleared.
I don't have any fraudulent act.
Well, that's the only issue that I'm having though. Is
Okay,
this check?
let me.
I'm trying to figure out where this came from. Because if you just randomly received a check in the mail, I mean,
It's certified.
The officer relays new information from the bank. The company's account is closed because of fraudulent activity. He then asks whether anything illegal is in her purse and requests permission to look inside it. She declines, calling it her personal business. Under Schneckloth versus Bustamonte, consent to a search must be voluntary, and a person always retains the right to refuse such a request from a police officer. Declining a search is not evidence of guilt and cannot by itself create probable cause. The Fifth Amendment likewise protects her right to remain silent rather than answer the officer's questions about the check. Under Miranda versus Arizona, officers must give warnings before a custodial interrogation. Yet statements a person volunteers without prompting are generally still admissible against that person later in court. An officer asks whether a police dog would alert on the vehicle. In Illinois versus Cabales, the Supreme Court held that a drug dog sniff during a lawful detention is not a search under the Fourth Amendment. But on Rodriguez versus United States, the court ruled that officers may not extend a stop to run a sniff without independent, reasonable suspicion. Here, no dog is deployed, and the question serves only as a prompt.
Signed for it, and I read it. I read
well, I understand she signed for it.
it to the mail.
I'm saying the account itself closed.
That's bullshit.
That's not what you told me this morning.
Well, that's what the people that work for Regions is telling me right now.
I don't know if we got
Hey, Hoy.
Yeah.
Could you send me a picture of the thing that came with my check? It should be laying in there by the nightstand. Would you send me? I've got police all around me because I tried to cash the check. I called the bank up there, and I need that piece of paper that came with the check.
Okay, what did what cause?
It was there by the nightstand.
Well, I see the nightstand. I don't think I'm making around anywhere.
Well, look for it and call me back.
It's a certified letter.
All right, thank you.
Let me ask you this: if we called our canine out here, do you think it would alert to your car if it sniffed your car?
It shouldn't.
I called.
It shouldn't. If you were actually positive, you'd probably say something like absolutely not. Well, you can search it because it's your own truck.
Serious.
Okay.
It was it came with the letter. With the
95.
check that you.
She drove right. Okay. Why are you here with her?
Okay, I meant.
Just from a friend of mine. I have family that lives in St. Louis.
How do you guys know each other?
Through her husband, I used to cut his hair. I'm a hairstylist. I run a barbershop.
The companion states the truck is his and that he drove because the woman has no license. He indicates the officers may search it. Voluntary consent from someone with authority over a vehicle is a lawful basis. The officer tells the woman she is under arrest for fraud, and she reacts with disbelief. A warrantless arrest requires probable cause, a reasonable belief that a crime occurred, based on the totality of the circumstances. Under Chimel versus California and United States versus Robinson, officers may search a person and the area within reach incident to a lawful custodial arrest. A female officer is reserved for any more thorough search. The woman is secured in the patrol car. Under South Dakota versus Opperman and Colorado versus Bertine, police may inventory an impounded vehicle under standardized procedures to protect property and limit liability. During the inventory, officers find methamphetamine and paraphernalia. Illinois charges methamphetamine under Code Section 646, controlled substances under Section 570, and paraphernalia under Section 6. Because the woman has no valid license, she also faces a charge under Illinois Vehicle Code, Section 6-3083, driving while a license is suspended, which is ordinarily a Class A misdemeanor in the state.
Yes, this was third degree after.
What's her husband's name?
Hoy White is my husband's name.
Oh,
Okay, sorry.
good answer.
Joseph.
It's actually Joseph.
Hey, Amanda, go ahead and stand up. I'll put your hands lay back for me. Go on.
Why
You're
arrest?
going to be under arrest for fraud, okay?
Why am I under arrest for fraud? Are you really being serious right now?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm sorry, but I did not fraud nobody.
Okay.
That is crazy. I did not fraud anybody. I got a check in the mail. This is absolutely insane. And I swear to God. Will you please call Hoy and tell Hoy to come get me?
Well, let's not have anyone come over here.
Oh, yeah.
Just stand right here. You have anything illegal on you?
No, I do not.
Okay. No needles, nothing like that?
Nothing. I don't think can you?
You're under arrest. Still there, sir?
She got in the mail.
Okay, now.
I know it's not very nice. I was trying to go up in the car today. I wasn't trying to fraud anybody. I called their bank, everybody's.
Okay.
I mean, why are you calling it fraud? There ain't nothing in there. You know this. I have good attorneys.
That's fine. We do too.
I know.
So where are you going?
He's going to be.
What else do you want to pat down? Everything raw?
No, we have do you have anything in your bra?
No, I don't.
Okay.
You have off?
No, we have a female officer that will be a little bit more thorough, sir.
Okay, great. Can't wait.
You can take this off of
Oh, really?
Is that from here?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's
Whatever you need to do. Ow.
Sorry about that.
Okay, no, I'm getting picked up for something I never fucking. Awesome.
Get that back on. All right. I'm going to take it out to my car for now, okay?
So you're arresting me on fraud?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just so I know what my charges are.
I'm going to open that window and pump the air for you, okay? Okay. All right.
2130 on service.
I'm talking to my husband so I can be bonded out there.
Yeah, well, you'll get some phone calls. Okay. I'm going to take her stuff to my car, then I'm going to be inventorying that vehicle. Is there anything else that you need in there? Sodas and cigarettes?
Soda, cigarettes.
Okay.
What would you find her?
Okay, good.
I need to look on the paper. What would you find you?
That's not mine.
Okay, well now there's not a chance to be allowed to.
I'm going to get started.
Okay, fine.
I'm going to be up front with you and everything. So your new charges are also now possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. It may actually be empty. Oh no. Is it? Yeah. All right. So that was right here. Ice? Yeah. Fun. I love it.
Everything else in her car, in her truck?
Well, you guys are both saying it's both of your trucks, so.
I haven't told her with my truck. I told you I drove her. She doesn't have a license.
Well, you're in custody, so I'm not going to argue with you about this right now, okay? All right. All right. Kind of slid over there a little bit. I'm going to go around this car to the blue door over there.
This is the pivotal issue. If the fraud arrest had probable cause, the search and inventory were lawful, and the drug evidence stands. If not, a defense could argue that the contraband was the fruit of an unlawful seizure. On scene, the charges include deceptive practices, a false statement, possession of stolen property, methamphetamine, a controlled substance, paraphernalia, and a suspended license. The final outcome could not be verified. The responding officers earn a B+. They stayed calm, explained each step, reserved an intrusive search for a female officer, and relied on lawful grounds, though they arrested for fraud before verifying her account. Amanda earns a C-. Her composure prevented escalation, but she volunteered a long, self-incriminating account, and the search uncovered drugs and a suspended license that left her in clear legal jeopardy. The lesson for any citizen is simple. A person may calmly decline a search and remain silent, and neither choice is proof of guilt. Volunteering a detailed story, as this footage shows, can do far more harm than good. The broader lesson is that at one mailed check on a closed account turned a brief inquiry into 7 charges. Verifying an unexpected check before cashing it and never carrying contraband would have changed everything.